Here's a truth most men don't realize. A woman never regrets losing the man who begged for her, chased her, or tried to prove his worth. She only regrets losing the man who quietly pulled back, leveled up, and disappeared without resentment. The man who didn't try to win her back, but instead became the kind of man she couldn't replace. When a woman leaves you, she believes you'll stay emotionally stuck, that you'll wait around hoping she changes her mind. That's the comfort zone she counts on. But what truly shocks her, what gets under her skin and haunts her later, is when you evolve without her, when you don't fight, don't react, and don't try to prove your value through pain. That's when her mind starts turning because she suddenly realizes she didn't just lose a man. She lost her emotional anchor. See, women are emotional beings. We crave validation and control in relationships more than we admit. So when a man stops giving us both, something shifts. The more silent and composed you become, the louder your absence feels. That's when her curiosity turns into confusion. Then that confusion turns into longing. And here's the part most men miss. It's not about revenge. Making a woman regret losing you isn't about showing her she made a mistake. It's about becoming the kind of man she never believed you could be until she's already gone. The power isn't in punishing her. It's in outgrowing her, because the moment you truly stop needing her, she starts needing you, even if she doesn't understand why. So let's break this down. Not from a fantasy point of view, but from how women really think when they lose a good man who chooses himself instead. 1. When she leaves, she expects you to chase. Don't give her that. When she leaves, she expects you to chase. Don't give her that power. When a woman walks away, she already has a storyline playing in her head. She's telling herself he's going to realize what he lost. He'll come back begging, I'll have the upper hand. That's not arrogance, it's conditioning. Women are used to being pursued, validated, and reassured even after they're the ones who ended things. It gives them a sense of control, and control is what keeps them emotionally comfortable. But when you don't chase, when you give her nothing to feed off, that's when she starts to panic quietly. It's subtle at first. She'll check your social media. She'll wait for that, hey, how have you been? Message. When it doesn't come, confusion sets in. Because women don't expect emotional detachment from men they believe still love them. There's something powerful in your silence. It says you're not trying to prove your worth anymore. And that silence makes her start to question herself. Did I mean that little to him? Has he already moved on? Did he really care as much as I thought? That internal questioning is where regret begins. Because regret doesn't come from missing you immediately. It comes from realizing you're no longer emotionally accessible to her. Think about it. The man who chases feeds her ego. The man who walks away feeds her curiosity. And that curiosity grows into obsession when she can't figure out why you didn't crumble. So the key is to stay calm, grounded, and unavailable. No emotional outbursts, no long texts, no public displays of pain, just quiet composure. That's what flips the power dynamic. Not anger, not pretending, but real emotional discipline. Because when a woman sees that she doesn't control your emotions anymore, she starts to realize something far scarier. She might have lost the one man who actually understood his value. That's how you start making her regret losing you. By showing her you never needed her approval to begin. Silence is louder than any text you could send with. 2. Silence is louder than any text you could send. Men underestimate the power of silence, especially after a breakup. When you go quiet, you remove her emotional fuel. See, women are used to emotional feedback. If she pulls away, she expects a reaction. Anger, sadness, chasing, or questions, anything that confirms you still care. But when she gets nothing, no text, no energy, no attention, that's when her thoughts start eating at her. Silence gives her time to project. And trust me, women project hard. She'll replay your last interactions, reread old messages, and question whether she misjudged your feelings. Her ego starts fighting with her emotions. The ego says he'll come back. But the emotion whispers, what if he doesn't? That inner conflict is where her regret starts growing. The silence hurts more than any words you could say because it forces her to sit with her decision. Every unanswered message, every day she doesn't hear from you chips away at her confidence that she made the right choice. The quiet becomes a mirror, and it reflects everything she didn't want to face. Now I know silence feels unnatural at first. You want to explain yourself. You want closure. But remember this: women don't regret losing the man who made his pain obvious. They regret the one who gave them no emotional access to it. Your silence isn't about manipulation, it's about dignity. It says you don't get to know what's happening inside me anymore. And that mystery is far more powerful than any emotional plea because when you stop talking, she starts thinking. And when she starts thinking, she starts rebuild your image without announcing it missing. 3. Rebuild your image without announcing it. The biggest mistake men make after losing a woman is trying to show her they've changed. Posting pictures, showing off, trying to make her jealous. It all screams, I'm still affected. The truth is, the real power move isn't improving anything. It's in genuinely evolving behind the scenes, quietly, patiently for yourself. When a woman sees you transform without any noise, emotionally, physically, or mentally, it hits differently because it tells her that her absence didn't destroy you. It refined you, that you used the pain as motivation, not a reason to chase. Maybe you started working out again. Maybe you focused on your business, your confidence, your purpose. The key is you didn't do it for her approval. You did it to get back to yourself. And when she eventually sees that version of you, her mind will spiral because nothing makes a woman question her choices more than seeing a man glow up in peace. Remember, women are emotional but deeply observant. She'll notice the difference: the tone of your voice, your posture, your focus, all of it. And it'll remind her of what she took for granted. The point isn't revenge, it's reclamation. You're not trying to make her jealous. You're showing yourself what you were always capable of. That quiet confidence, that's what she'll regret losing. Not your old self, but the new man you became once you stopped trying to win her back. 4. Detach from her. Detach from her emotionally. That's when she feels it emotionally. That's when she feels it. Most men think the hardest part after a breakup is not contacting her, but the real challenge is emotional detachment because you can go no contact but still be mentally obsessed, and women can feel that energy even from a distance. When you're still checking her page, still wondering what she's doing, still hoping she'll text, you're emotionally tethered. The shift happens when you stop living reactively, when you no longer make decisions based on whether or not she'll see or care. Emotional detachment is the quietest form of power. It's not coldness, it's freedom. It's saying, you're allowed to be part of my past, but you no longer influence my future. That detachment flips the dynamic. Because the moment she senses she no longer affects your emotions, her curiosity spikes. She starts thinking, has he really moved on? Did I lose my hold on him? That's the exact thought that starts the cycle of regret. Detach not by suppressing emotions, but by redirecting them. Pour that energy into yourself, your focus, your purpose. Because when your attention returns to your own life, your presence naturally becomes magnetic. And nothing attracts a woman more than a man who's emotionally unavailable to her, but deeply invested in his own peace. 5. Level up your. Level up your life. Like you were never hurt life. Like you were never hurt. When a woman leaves, she secretly expects your world to fall apart because that's the story her ego needs to believe, that she mattered that much. But when you do the opposite, when you keep moving forward as if nothing broke you, that's when she starts to rethink everything. Imagine this. She's scrolling through her phone one night and sees you smiling, laughing, working on something you love. Not forced, not performative, just peaceful. That moment hits her because she realizes she's no longer the center of your world, and yet you're doing better without her. That's what drives her crazy. Women respect emotional strength. They may test it, but they crave it. When you don't let pain define you, when you handle loss with calm confidence, it makes her see you differently. Because most men crumble under emotional weight, but the few who stay grounded, those are the ones women never forget. So level up, not for revenge, but for renewal. Rebuild your body, your focus, your purpose, your peace, because when she sees that your glow came from independence, not validation, she'll realize something painful. She was a chapter in your story, not the whole book. And that's when regret truly begins. When she sees you thriving in a story that no longer includes her. 6. When When she comes back. Curious, don't rush to respond. She comes back curious, don't rush to respond. Let's be real. Women always come back in some way, maybe not to start over, but to test the water. And when they do, most men mess it up by reacting too fast. They reply within minutes, open the door wide, and start giving her all the emotional reassurance she came looking for. But here's the truth. The moment you rush to respond, you confirm that she still matters more than your peace. When a woman reaches out after distance, she's not usually trying to fix things. She's checking if she still has access. Maybe she's bored. Maybe her new situation doesn't feel as good as she expected. Or maybe she just wants to know that you're still emotionally tied to her. It's not always malicious. Sometimes it's just ego. She wants to know if the power she once had still exists. So when she texts, calls, or likes your photo, slow down, breathe. Don't let excitement drive your reaction, because how you handle that moment determines everything. If you respond immediately, it tells her you've been waiting. If you give too much emotion, she'll lose interest again. But if you stay composed, calm, short, polite, and confident, it leaves her wondering if she misjudged her value in your life. Here's what women don't expect: a man who doesn't need their validation anymore. The kind of man who's busy, grounded, and peaceful. Not pretending, but genuinely content. That energy is magnetic. It unsettles her in the best way because it flips the dynamic. She's no longer the one being chased. She's now the one seeking your approval. So when she comes back curious, don't rush to open that emotional door. Don't punish her either. Just stand firm. Your calm indifference is what keeps you powerful. You don't have to prove anything, explain anything, or relive old emotions. You've already shown your growth through your peace. The real win isn't getting her back. It's showing her through your actions that you no longer need her back. That's the moment she truly begins to regret losing you. Because a woman can move on from a man who's angry or emotional, but she can never forget the man who handled her absence like it didn't break him. When she reaches out, remember her curiosity isn't confirmation that she loves you, it's a test. Pass it by, staying calm, steady, and unbothered. That's what makes her question herself. That's what makes her chase what she once took for granted. 7. Become the man she can't replace, not the one. She remembers man she can't replace, not the one she remembers. Here's something most men never realize. Women don't regret losing the man they left. They regret losing the man he became afterward. That version of you, the one who grew, stronger, wiser, and more grounded after she walked away, is the man she can't replace. See, when a woman leaves, she expects the same you to stay behind, the same energy, the same emotional pattern. She thinks, if I ever wanted him back, he'd still be there. That's how most men are. They freeze in time. But when you evolve instead, when you start showing up differently, calmer, more confident, more selective, it shocks her system because the man she thought she knew doesn't exist anymore. And that's where real regret is born. Not because she misses your attention, but because she realizes your value grew when she wasn't looking. The best revenge isn't replacing her. It's becoming the kind of man who doesn't even need to. The man who's so rooted in his purpose and peace that no woman can shake him again. Women are drawn to growth, to mystery, to quiet strength. The moment you stop seeking approval and start living with direction, you become magnetic. She'll start wondering how you became so confident, so calm, so attractive, and why she didn't see it before. That's the regret that lasts. Becoming irreplaceable isn't about perfection. It's about evolution. It's not about making her jealous. It's about outgrowing her expectations. The man who is content with himself, who demands peace over chaos, who values purpose over validation, that man stands out because he's rare. So stop trying to make her remember who you were. Focus on becoming someone better. When you live like that, her memory can't compete with your reality. You'll stop being the man she once knew and become the man she can't stop thinking about. That's the truth most women won't admit. Regret doesn't come from loss. It comes from realization. And when she realizes that you became everything she once wished for after she let you go, it'll haunt her longer than any words ever could. The moment you conclusion. Stop needing her is when she starts needing you. If you really want a woman to regret losing you, don't try to make her feel it. Make her see it through your calmness, through your growth, through your peace. The irony is, the more you chase closure, the less likely you are to get it. But when you build a life that doesn't revolve around her, that's when the energy shifts. She'll start remembering your stability, your presence, your strength, and realize she walked away from a man she may never find again. And here's the honest truth from a woman's perspective. Once we see a man truly detach, evolve, and rise, that regret never really goes away. It lingers quietly. So, don't chase her. Replace her with peace. Now, tell me in the comments, have you ever had a woman come back after realizing what she lost? I'll be reading through and replying personally because I know this topic hits deep.